I lived in Florida during COVID, and yes, he was a lot. He locked shit down, but I mean, it was maybe 9 weeks, and then shit started to open back up.
Hmm.
I mean, some things, the gyms were probably 6 months, but as far as restaurants and and my wife and I, we we did just takeout. We didn't go to eat any
But you
place.
could get it. Even when the restaurants weren't opened, not right away, but because I was down there for 7 months.
Yeah,
COVID had me trapped down there, and um, you could go to like the door, and some places would set up like a table in the doorway where they would just bring. You'd call in the food. You
yeah.
go there, and through the window, you do the transaction, and they give
There
you the
was like
food.
a really good barbecue place here in town, and they would just you call it in and you tell them what your car was and the license number, and it was like they car hopped
Oh,
out, brought your chicken ribs and stuff out to the car.
yeah. And
But
then
there
all the
was, I mean,
curbside stuff started. Like
yeah,
I think that was everywhere though. Like
yeah.
Target, they would
But
come out
but
and do
but
that.
but at the same time, I was shooting the movie Dog, and it was funny because I was sitting here before we got because they wanted to come down here early to make sure um everything was working. So I haven't had this computer on in 2 weeks.
You want to make sure
Uh,
Eric Bischoff wasn't sitting in your chair doing his show from the
yeah.
condo.
So in September of 20, I traveled to LA on the 15th, and we had to quarantine. So I got there the 14th, the 15th, and our first day of shooting was the 28th. So I was in an Airbnb, and I mean, you talking about shut down. I mean, LA was shut down. I mean, they had and I was kind of close to Venice, Santa Monica area. They had Main Street like down to one lane each way. And then that next lane was where they had the outdoor seating for the restaurants. And it was here few and far between. Like, it was just they had
So
out
the set was active.
we had to quarantine. So I got there on it was like I think it was a Monday. I didn't look. But I know that like 9 o'clock every morning there would be a knock on my door and a nurse would come and she would do like a swabbing of outside of like on my porch, and then she would take it and she would leave, and I had to pass. I think it was 10 days before I could go on set.
Oh, so they had you there for 10 days before
ten
you went before the
days.
camera.
Yeah.
Mm. Just in the hotel.
No, I was in an
Oh, an
Airbnb.
Airbnb. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, I
you
was in
have to,
Airbnb, and
and obviously they don't want
I
you to
was
leave it, right?
right, and I was on the east side of Lincoln on a street that at the end of the street was the golf course, and that golf course looked like a Jordanian refugee camp. It was all pop-up tents, and I mean because they used to for years in that area on Wednesdays was always the street cleaner day. And if you didn't move your vehicle on that, it was like 5 a.m. or whatever it was. That way there they kept all those campers and stuff moving around, and it just around Gold's Gym and that whole area there was just. I mean, the Gold's Gym, of course, was closed. I had a key to a gym. One of the producers had a friend that had a gym that was in Promenade in Santa Monica. And it had a punch code in the back. I had access to it, but it had no lights. and no air conditioning.
Oh. Well, what
And
month?
this was September.
Oh, in California,
It
that's
was
hot.
like 100.
Yeah.
It was one of those 100 Septembers in LA. And, but they had these big windows, like big sliding windows that you could open upstairs. I just the gym was upstairs. It had skylights throughout it. So it
Mhm.
was like I told him, I said, as long as I get my workout in, man. And then I just went to Whole Foods right there on Lincoln. I think that's Lincoln in the second. And just and then my agent, Noelle, she gave me they brought a 80-inch Roku TV. And then she gave me all of her codes, and her son came and punched all the shit in for me because I never would have been able to do it. And I had access to everything. I just sat there and watched it. It was
It's been
tell you
like
what,
the last 10 days for you now.
yeah, it wasn't like I've never been more prepared for dialogue in a film in my life.
I didn't see it. Did you have a lot?
No, I mean it was like I knew everybody's. I could do everybody's part.